All righty. So if you made it this far and you're still banging with me, I appreciate it. If you just catching on and you're like, who this dude with the bright blue Detroit Lions on? I am Coach Malik Carr. This is Catch Up with Coach. And let's get you caught up with college football. For those who don't know, the FCS National Playoffs. Right, yes, not FBS, FCS. The playoff system that is being jacked from the lower mid-major schools is coming to a head. They are at championship week this week. Actually, I think they play not this week, but the following after Christmas. Um, man, that is this playoff season has been. I've enjoyed it. Um, uh, University Incarnate Word. I've not heard of them like me. I never heard of them, but that don't mean they not balling. Okay, and and they had to play the big dogs. Listen, if you go win and you go claim to be a big dog, you got to beat a big dog. They had North Dakota State, the perennial, the returning champ, formerly known as Carson Wentz, formerly known as I forget the other guy, Lance, right? 49ers guy. So they got history. How they won this game? Oh my goodness, I still can't figure that out. But I know how they won it. They won the game because culture matters. Culture matters, pride matters. And if you got culture, pride, and love in a program, I think you can get just about anything done. Flat out. That's how I feel. All right, so here we go. I already spoke to it. University of Incarnate Word. Oh man, they was balling. This was a heck of a game. Like, you know, 35, 32. University of Incarnate Word loses. Fourth quarter loss. Um, Here's a stat line for you. When's the last time a quarterback has thrown less than 15 passes and has not thrown the ball over 50 yards and won? That speaks to the culture. North Dakota State threw the ball 12 times. The quarterback only completed one pass for 5 yards. I don't want to hear nothing. And they still put up 35 points. All right, here's the stat. Okay. Johnson, K. Johnson ran the ball 15 times, 135 yards, 3 touchdowns. C. Miller ran the ball 18 times, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. T. Marshall, my man T. Marshall, ran the ball 11 times, 66 yards. Guys, there are 50 carries out there of just running the ball, and they still put up 35 points. Here's the pass attempts for North Dakota. C. Miller, who is also the quarterback, he's a dual threat guy. You seen the Trey Lance kid at the 49ers. Same kind of makeup. Not same, but similar makeup. He throws the ball. He goes 1-for-12 for a grand total of 5 yards. No touchdowns. How you like them apples? Look, the last quarterback that used to do running numbers like this at this level was the kid at App State, Armani. I mean, he got three chips too. For the 4 years he was at App State. He went to the national championship game 3 to 4 years and won 3 to 4 years. I hope he got in that league and probably made a team or play DB receiver, something like that. But I don't care. The dude threw the ball 12 times, one completion, 5 yards. North Dakota State is going back to the national championship game, and they're going back to the game based on toting the rock. Run the air out the ball, dog. That's what they did. Now, Incarnate Word, University Incarnate Word. I'm messing it all up now. God dog it. Anyway, UIW. They about that life, dog. They ran the ball too. And they got a dual threat quarterback, but they dual threat quarterback is legitimately a dual threat. He threw the ball 30 for 46. 46, he threw the ball 46 times, completed 30 passes. He did throw 2 picks, but he threw it for 282 with 1 touchdown. Now, when you go into the running end, he toted that thing for 21 times, 80 carries, and 2 tutties. I mean, he's about 240. He about 240, 6'2 and a half, 6'3 maybe. He can play. He can play. So yeah, Incarnate Word they gave everything they got, and they're getting a new coach too. I mean, hey man, game recognized game, and the game plan is working. It's working. So whatever you guys are doing out there to churn culture like you guys are doing, I ain't knocking it. And you can't knock North Dakota State's culture. I'm still struggling. How in the heck North Dakota State wins year in and year out, year in and year out? I'm like tripping on that because this is not like North Dakota. How many people have been to North Dakota? First off, let's start there. I've been to North Dakota, but look, I'm not your tradition. I'm the road less traveled guy. Okay. So I get North Dakota State. I took a visit out there, but I was in Minnesota. I was already in that part of that wasn't nothing but a 4-hour drive. The part of Minnesota I was in. I'm still tripping. So when you say you can't win somewhere, you got to give me some real good reasons why you can't win there. Because North Dakota State is winning and winning and winning and winning. Now, I know a few coaches, and I've coached a few guys by way of all-star games that have played on those teams. That culture is wrapped through and through. Through and through. I'm just telling you it's wrapped through and through, and they take care of each other. And even though coaches have left that school, they keep doubling down with the same type of culture, the same type of mindset, and resulting in the same type of kid. And you go tell me you can't win in dang on Fort Lauderdale? You go tell me you can't win in LA? You go tell me you can't win in Chicago, in some major cities, but you can win in North Dakota State? Look, man, here's the point. Leadership goes beyond boundaries, goes beyond geographical locations. Leadership, I'm not going to keep getting on my soapbox, but I'm going to finish here. Everything rises and falls on good leadership, period. Bet that. All right. So UIW loses to North Dakota State 32-35. What a heck of a ride. And they back. Like they back like they never left. And they haven't. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. It just is. All right. South Dakota. This is like in-state, look, cross-state rival championship game. So South Dakota beats a rival, Montana. South Dakota State beats their rival, Montana State, 39-19 to go into the championship game with North Dakota State. So yes, North Dakota State versus South Dakota State. They're battling over the borders. Look, man. All right. And so, again, Montana State, they was a 50-50 squad. They ran the ball, passed the ball for the most part. The only reason they got away from them, is because Davis is South Dakota's running back and running attack is no different than North Dakota State. The difference is they quarterback Gronowski, excuse me. Gronowski threw the ball 10 for 13, threw the ball 13 times, completed 10 passes for 189 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they're efficient as heck, and they running the air out that ball again. Give me the rock. That's what they doing. And so they ran the ball 38 times. They ran the ball 38 times for 281 yards. So if you're interested, I will be watching because I'm interested in the throwback. Line them up, me against you. I'm gonna beat you up, and then I'm gonna get to you, and then once I get to you, then I'm gonna go tackle you. That's the type of old school football I grew up in. So I'm gonna watch this game. North Dakota State, South Dakota State, cross border rivals. If you're not familiar with North Dakota State, you are by way of their NFL quarterback Trey Lance, and formerly known as Carson Wentz. He's still Carson Wentz. He's formerly known as anyway, whatever. All right. That is the Division One landscape in the FCS playoffs. Now let's just jump right into the top dogs, if you will. Now, if you are playing before a Christmas Bowl game, hats off. But listen, I know you don't expect a lot of viewers or a lot of people at those games because people were Christmas shopping still. Like the bowl, if they could, and if was a fifth, we wouldn't even be here. I won't be here today. All right, so where am I going? Well, coach, get on with it. The game to watch: Marshall, UConn. Why UConn is playoffs? Playoffs. If you don't remember that guy, for all of my old heads, they remember Coach Moore. Playoffs. You're talking to me about playoffs? His son is the head coach at UConn, and for whatever it's worth, he got it rolling. And they got him all the way from out west. And so whatever you felt about them going all the way out there to get him after the UCLA debacle and to bring him to UConn, and UConn is a very conservative spot now. It ain't like you can be wide open in Connecticut. You can't. And kudos, they got 6-6, and it was a hard fought 6-6. They have their hands full because Marshall is the team that got on my radar because they spanked Notre Dame. All right, UTSA versus Troy. I almost took a job at UTSA. San Antonio, University of San Antonio. Yeah, they lost. But it was a good game. Troy beat them 18-12. Actually, it was actually a pretty good game because Troy came up with the score win in the fourth quarter. All right, Miami, Ohio, UAB, who dropped a program a few years ago, and has really have not done anything but move on up the social ladder of program in the South. And because you in Alabama, you playing a second fiddle to a lot of teams in Alabama. But say what you want, they went 7-6 this year, getting their first bowl win since bringing that program back. So kudos to them, winning against Miami of Ohio 2024. Now, this is the game to talk about. We're going to talk about two of these games. But God, dog, I'm connected to Florida. And I'm connected because I'm connected. If you follow, I don't do any name dropping because that's not my thing. I don't care if you care who I know or don't know. What I'm still saying, Florida cannot be losing like this. Florida shouldn't even be playing no pre-Christmas bowl. They playing a pre-Christmas bowl right now, and they playing against a Pac-12 team who they should have just bullied. They should have bullied them up out the club. Like, hey, man, get up out of here. That's what I wanted them to do. Man, shout out to my mentor down there. I love you, dog. Florida is in a bad way. And there's no reason for Florida to be in a bad way. But, you know, football gods and politics don't always see eye to eye. And then when you add players in there, forget about it. All right. Cincinnati, Louisville. This game is a game of coaches leaving. And it was just a shabaku. Yeah, shabaku is not a official word. Shabaku is a way for me saying a junk show or a shiitake mushroom show with debacle. So I'm taking shiitake show and debacle, and I'm combining words and making shabaku. So Cincinnati, Louisville, both teams lost their head coach. Whenever you lose your general in the midst of having to play a bowl game, there are some emotional ups and downs already attached to just the bowl game, and this being a lot of seniors' last game. But the fact that 70 to 80% of my team knows my coach is not coming back, that's a hard space to perform in emotionally. And because of it, Louisville walked away with the dub 24-7, and Cincinnati, who by all rights I think is a better team than Louisville, but this Louisville team did spank Clemson. That was something to see. No, they spanked Syracuse. That's who it was. All right. Outside of that, you had Boise beat North Texas 35-32. Hey, I don't know if my man JJ out there, but Toby, I don't know what's going on, man. Toby, you need to go up there and get him a concert, bro. Man, give him some juice. North Texas, some juice. You got the juice. Go give him to him, man. I remember when you was on that field. I ain't gonna lie. I remember you was straight. But that's neither here nor there. They lost to Boise State 32-35. SMU, BYU, barn burner 23-24 came down to BYU holding off SMU in the fourth quarter, and SMU missing an extra point. I tell you, points always come to bite you in the butt if you don't take care of business. All right, my man Rice unfortunately did not get it done at Southern Miss. Frank Gore Jr. had a day over there for 329 yards. Yeah, that sucks. Just sucks. Like, I never want to give up more than 150 yards on the ground by one back. One back. One. If I get up 100 yards to two backs, that's still hurting my feelings. Sometimes you can't stop the ball going in the air and the receiver just knowing how to track it. But because there's a lot got to happen. Center got to snap the ball. Quarterback got to catch the ball. We just saw a team lose because they dropped the ball. Just the exchange. And then after he catches the ball, everyone has to block for him. Then receiver has to run a route. Then he has to throw. Anyway, I know. There are 15 things that have to happen before the point of completion with quarterback to receiver. There are only 3 things that have to happen to hand that football off, hand that peel off. Snap the ball, catch the ball, hand the ball, and let that man eat. And so, hey man, and then shout out to Frank Gore Jr. going to Southern Miss and not just trying to follow in his old man footsteps and being a Cain. Because Cain killed Abel. I don't know. I don't know what it means. It's just provocative. All right, listen. That is the college lineup. Check out the national championship FCS game. North Dakota State versus South Dakota State. That's going to be a dope game to watch. Yeah, and we got bowls coming all over the place. Hey, check out me on the Mannix Brothers at 1 p.m. We talk college football. We'll probably talk a lot of bowl games and recap some of the things that you may have already heard me say. But be that as it may, I am Coach Malik Hall. This is Catch Up with Coach. And guess what? You are caught up. Peace.